toes, line up the 10 toes, and then lift the toes up, spread them out. This strengthens the muscles that lift the arches of the feet. Try and see the colours of the mat between the 10 toes. And then relax them down. And just gaze directly forwards. Moving with the breath now. Inhale, circle the arms up. Drawing the palms together, soften the knees. Exhale, fold forwards, bow the head, hands on the ground. Inhaling, stepping your right leg back to a lunge. And as you exhale, lower the right knee down, untuck the right toes. Inhale, lift the chest, sweep the arms up overhead, slightly behind you. Bring the hands to either side of the left foot, curl the right toes under. Exhaling back into downward facing dog. Rolling the triceps down, sending the inner thighs back, lengthening the spine. From downward dog, inhale through into plank pose, bring the shoulders over the wrists, straight legs, belly in. And then soften the knees, untuck the toes. Bend just the elbows, lower all the way down onto the floor as a unit and reach out through the toes. Slightly tuck the tailbone. Pull the belly button in, inhaling, using back strength to come into a low cobra. Peel the breastbone off the floor. Lower down, curl the toes under, push to the hands. Draw the hips back, lift the knees, downward facing dog. Then lift the heels slightly, bend the knees, look to where you're going. Inhaling, stepping your right foot up between the hands. Low lunge. Bend the left foot up to meet the right foot. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, use the front of the body to hinge back up, circling the arms up overhead. Exhaling the hands down by the sides. One more. Inhaling, drawing the arms up overhead. Exhale, folding forwards, keeping the inner thighs spiraling back. Inhaling, step your left leg back to a lunge. Exhaling, lowering the left knee, untuck the left toe. Inhale, lift the chest, circle the arms up overhead. And bring the hands to either side of the right foot, spreading the palms, curl the left toes under, lifting the left knee. Exhaling the right leg back to downward facing dog, feet hip width, hands shoulder width. Inhaling, coming through into plank pose, kneecaps lifted to strengthen them. Lower the knees, soften the elbows, coming all the way down onto the belly. Reach out through the toes. Inhale to cobra, looking down the sides of the nose rather than up, long neck. Soften down, curl the toes under. Exhale back to downward facing dog. Look forwards, inhaling. Step the left foot up between the hands, heel landing under your knee. Step the right foot up to meet the left. Exhale to fold. Inhale, hinge from the hips, circle the arms up overhead into a prayer position. Exhaling, taking the hands down. This time, inhale, circle the arms up. Exhale, swan dive forwards, using the core to draw yourself down rather than the shoulders. Hands under the shoulders, inhale, lift the chest. Place the hands flat now with the side of the feet. Step back to a plank pose, and as you exhale, either lower knees as before, or come down into chaturanga, bending the elbows by the ribs. Inhaling into up facing dog, knees and hips off the floor, looking up. And then exhaling, hinge from the hips back into downward facing dog. Remembering to roll your underarms forwards, triceps down. Send the heads and the thigh bones back. From there, take an inhale, slowly lifting the right leg up high to the sky, allowing the right hip to lift up a little bit and the left heel to sink deeper into the mat. Then flex the right foot, and as you breathe out, squeeze your right heel towards your left sit bone, squaring your right ribs and shoulders forwards in a counter spiral. Inhale, re-stretch the right leg and spread the toes, pressing the ball of the foot back. Exhale, step the right foot up between the hands into a lunge, coming onto the fingertips, chest forwards. Take a breath in. Exhaling, floating the hips up and back, bringing the nose towards your kneecap. Inhaling back into the low lunge, bend the front knee, keep the back leg buoyant. Exhaling, drawing the hips up and back, drawing the right leg into the body as the hamstring stretches. Inhaling back into the low lunge, keep lifting left thigh bone, opening the left hip flexor. Exhale, hips up and back, and so flex the right toes off the mat, lifting the left heel higher for more stretch. Inhaling back into the low lunge, breathing out as you exhale. heel down, keep your right leg externally rotated, opening out to warrior two. Try and challenge yourself to get that front leg at a 90-degree angle if possible. Take an inhale, lift the belly. Exhaling, taking the right hand to the inside edge of the right foot. Just on the fingertips so you have room underneath the right side of the ribs. Nudge the right arm into the right thigh bone to help with the lengthening of your inner right thigh. The muscles that you need to be long and lengthened for turning out. Lengthen the spine on the breath in and begin to spiral the chest up to the ceiling using the upper back. One more breath here. And as you exhale, take the fingertips to the floor. And walk around to the side of the mat. Turning the toes. Slightly in, heels slightly wider than the toes. Walk the fingertips back level with the feet, taking a breath in. And as you breathe out, fold forward from the hips, placing the palms onto or towards the floor. And the top of the head on towards the floor. Hips stacked. In line with the heels, use the inhale breath to lift up through your belly. Exhale, rooting down through the feet and easing the crown of the head towards the mat. Next inhale, rise up onto the fingertips, lift the chest with the head. As you exhale, bring the hands to the hips, imagine the feet drawing towards each other, coming back up. Breathing out. And then pivot your heels forwards once to turn out, then toes forwards to parallel. Heels forwards to turn out. Bring the palms together, interlace the fingers. Take an inhale, pressing the palms up to the ceiling. And as you exhale, sliding down into what we call horse pose in yoga. It's like a second position, wide plie. Try taking a breath in, lifting the right heel, spiraling the inner heel forwards from the root of the joint, from the hip. Exhaling, right heel down. Inhaling, lifting the left heel into the forced arch. Exhale, keep it there, inhaling, right heel up as well. Inhale, exhale, both heels down, take a breath in, press down to stretch the legs. Exhaling, opening the arms out to the side, stay in turn out. Feel like you're drawing your feet towards each other for stability. Take a breath in, exhaling, starting to swan dive forwards. In a turned out position, bringing the fingertips to the floor. And again, if you're used to yoga practice, this could be a strange feeling, turning out with the legs in external rotation. And if you're a dancer, you'll be used to it. From here, inhale, lift the chest, come halfway up, and then shift the heels out once, back into parallel. Pick up the toes, turn the toes out, not all the way out to 180, but just sort of 10 to 2. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, start to take it into a side lunge. Left knee over the toes, either staying up high, or you can flex your right foot, turn the right leg out, completely, really externally rotate from the hips so your knee is towards the ceiling. We want the stretching in the back of the leg, not in the medial ligaments of your right knee. And if you want to go deeper, just sinking the hips down and back, using the left elbow in front of your left thigh bone to keep the alignment there and open across the inner thighs and the right hamstring. Use your strong left leg to shift through center, start to bend your right knee. Either staying there with the left foot on the floor or flex the foot, spin the inner thigh up. Maybe take it a little bit deeper, right elbow to inner right thigh. Slowly shift back to 2 feet and then crawl around to a lunge, right toes forwards, picking up the left heel. Sink back into that runner's lunge, take a breath in. Exhale, just step it back to downward facing dog. Hugging upper arms by ears for strong arms as you inhale, taking the left leg up into a dog split. Right heel releasing down. And then flex the left foot, breathing out, drawing left heel across the right sitting bone to open your left hip flexor. Then counter spiral left ribs and shoulders towards the back of the mat. Inhale, re-stretch the left leg. Exhale, step it up between the hands. Rise onto the fingertips. Take a breath in. Exhale, drawing both hips up and back, nose to knee. Inhaling back into a low lunge. Again, rising up to a crescent lunge, no back bend, back ribs lifted. Pivot the right heel down this time. Exhaling through to warrior two. Take a breath in there. Exhaling. Taking the left fingertips to the inside edge of the left foot. Keep the left sit bone tucked underneath you. Use left shoulder to open your inner left thigh with a little nudge. Lengthen the spine as you breathe in. My back leg's strong and straight. Exhaling, rotating the chest up to the ceiling. Okay, one more breath in. As you breathe out, release the right hand down. Walk around to the side of the mat again. Heels slightly wider than the toes. Again, walk the fingertips back so they're level with the 10 toes. Excuse me for turning my back. Inhale, lengthen the spine, draw the chest forwards. Exhale, folding forwards again, bringing the palms to the floor between the feet. And either staying there, or maybe take it into a headstand, bringing the head to the floor in front of the hands, elbows in line with the shoulders. Press the hands down, so my weight's really in my shoulders and being held in my center rather than through the neck and the head. So you might choose to stay here. If headstand is part of your practice, press down through the hands. Split the legs out to the side. Drawing them together overhead. Keep rooting down through the hands to protect your neck. And then if you took the headstand, open the legs out to a gravity-assisted split. Flex the feet, lift up through your center, control it to the very end. Resist, resist, resist. Bring the feet down. Inhaling, rising up onto the fingertips. And then turn the left toes to the front of the mat, pivoting the right heel off the mat, taking an inhale into your low lunge. And this time step the front foot up next to the other foot. Exhale, folding forwards. Soften the knees. Inhaling, rolling up to standing. Taking a breath out to the top. And then pick an eyeline. Doesn't have to be an exact spot, but looking towards an imaginary horizon. Try and soften the eyes. Root down into the floor. Shift the weight over to the left. Coming into tree pose. Watch the left hip doesn't bump out to the side. Pick up the right foot. Grab your right ankle. Turn out. Try and keep the hips square those. Seal the right foot against the inner left thigh and squeeze the left inner thigh into the right foot. If you're a dancer, you'll be used to balancing in turn out. It's a little bit different feeling in parallel. It strengthens the inner leg more than the outer. Make sure your left foot's in parallel. Take the hands to the heart. It's important to keep rooting down through the left foot and reaching up through the crown of the head evenly. And also to keep your center of gravity, which is around your belly button, over your standing leg. Breathe calmly. For a variation, if you like, you can release the right foot. Grab the instep from the inside edge. Make sure you've got your plumb line of energy down through your spine to the heel. Take the left arm out to the side and stay there. Breathing out. Just extending the right leg, rolling the right hip down. So there's a wall in front of you. Take a breath in. Exhale, bring the right leg in. Bring the knee forwards. Release down. Shift your center of gravity over to the right now. Watch that you're not tempted to turn out your right leg. Parallel, please. It feels weird if you're not used to it. Root down so that the left leg feels weightless. Grab the left ankle from the inside edge. Rotate out, making sure the two hip points stay forwards. The knee may not turn directly out 180 degrees depending on your turn out. That's fine, just as it is in dance, it might be in front of you. Pull the hands to the heart center. Soften the eyes, breathe in. And again, if you'd like to try the variation, just releasing the left foot, taking the rounded part of your heel from the inside edge. Then stretch. Rebend the left knee. Turn the left knee forwards. And then bring the feet back. Walk them out hip width apart this time. From there, float the arms forwards. As you inhale, breathing out, just draw the shoulders back. Draw the navel in as though you've done up a drawstring. Inhaling, rising up onto the toes. Try not to let the ankles splay. Spread the weight over all 10 toes and lift your kneecaps. Keeping the weight forwards, fight to come down. Resist as you lower the heels, keeping the weight over the toes. Twice more, inhale, peel the feet. Exhaling as though I'm still pulling you up by the crown of the head as you lower the heels. Last one, inhaling to rise. Exhaling to stay there. Take another breath in. If your knees are good, no injuries, then breathing out. Starting to bend the knees as though you're sitting on a chair. Coming down to about a 90-degree angle in the knees. You are going to feel it in your quads. My toes are getting a good stretch. My quads are getting a good strengthening exercise. And it's a challenge to balance. Stay 2 more breaths. And then inhaling, rising back up, keep the weight slightly forwards. Exhaling, release the heels, release the arms. And then walk the feet back together. Shift the weight over to your left foot. This time pick up the right foot. From the inside edge, try and turn your palm face out. So inner elbow out. Picking up the big toe edge. Just externally rotates the shoulder. Bring the knees together. Inhaling, taking the left arm up. Shoulders square, hips square. Either stay there or for more of a challenge. Try and keep your breastbone facing forwards, allow the hips to tilt. Finding that hinge in the upper back as you press your right foot up and back into dancer pose. And just like in our hip opening down the dog, I'm trying to spiral my right ribs and shoulders forwards. Bring the upper body up first, lift the left arm like in a penché. Inhaling, coming back up. Exhaling, bringing the right knee in front of the hip, left hand onto the hip. Either just grab the right shin, or reach down from the inside edge for your right big toe. Come upright, take a breath in. Exhaling, sending the heel forwards. From there, release the toe, keep the leg there. Inhaling, both arms up, foot flex. And as you exhale, pendulum the right leg through. Demi pointing the right toes. Exhaling through into a standing split, fingertips under the shoulders. Inhale, lift the right leg using your glutes. Exhale, folding over the left leg. Maybe taking the left hand to the back of your left calf. Breathing out, going a little bit deeper. Spread the right toes. Inhale, left hand to the floor. Exhale, bring the right foot down, bend the knees. And as you inhale, slowly roll your way up one vertebra at a time. Re-establish your drishti. Let go of whatever happened on the first side. It's a little bit like with messing up a turn or a balance. If you're focused on what's already happened, it throws you off. So just move forwards. Standing onto the right leg. Shift the weight, picking up the left foot. Spiral the inner elbow out, palm out, taking the inside edge of the left foot. Knees together. And then counter spiral or draw your left shoulder forwards. Inhaling the right arm up. Exhaling. Allow your hips to tip, but keep your upper back working as though you've got a hinge underneath your shoulder blades. So you're never looking down in this pose. Try and lift the inner left thigh. We're in parallel. Inhale, reach the right arm up, bringing upper body up first for a bit of useful tension. Exhale, release right hand onto the hip. Reach down for the shin or the big toe of the left leg. Make sure you're upright before you go further. Align your vertebrae, take a breath in. Exhaling, sending the left heel forwards. Try Drop the left hip down.